This apparently is the Indy 500.
Right.
Would you say?
Oh yeah, that's definitely. And those are in the probably 64, maybe 64, 65 era. Those cars, that's what the cars look like anyway.
And push them all out. And I didn't know if this was anybody, because, you know, it's so far away. I didn't know if that was like Ted, because, like, you took Rocky out east with you.
Yeah, he's probably doing, looking for somebody down there, but.
And then, like I say, it jumps around. So now we're going out west, because pretty soon you'll see Mount Rushmore. So I don't know if you can tell what you're. Joy's usually probably filming while you're driving.
Probably. Or, I mean, I could have been at some else driving while I took him too. But I took a lot of film, you know that, and I don't know what happened to all of them. But Ted said he found several cans about this big around. I told him that those were ones I'd spliced together, and there'd be probably 400 feet of film on each one of those.
Oh my gosh. So it's kind of bad quality here, but it gets better.
Hopefully.
See, then there's...
So it speaks very well for my photography.
Oh, but back then, nobody took stuff like this. My dad took slides, of course.
Most everyone took slides.
And Uncle Don had a camera that blinded everybody when he cranked it up. But this actually did a really good job.
Well, I've always thought things that move are more fun to watch, or more interesting.
Absolutely.
You get to tell more about the person you're photographing or whatever it is.
But also it was kind of neat because you were on the turnpike and stuff,
Right.
which probably was great back then.
Yeah, well, that was a big deal.
Then this is somebody's house. I wasn't sure who.
That's Ross's. That's our car right there.
So this is Ross. Who's
Ross
Ross?
Hall.
Ross Hall.
Yeah.
And he lived out.
Corvallis, Oregon.
Oh, so
That's a new house they just built. That's their backyard.
Wow. Look at that. I mean, that's just amazing.
Yeah, I love those things.
And then
That's Norma, my sister.
Norma. Okay, that's what I didn't know. So this is so cool.
Those are her kids. Of course, her kids are all.
Then here comes yours.
That's Ross
And
Hall.
Ross. Okay. So this is your brother-in-law.
Right.
Okay.
And he still lives in the same house, believe it or not.
He does.
Yeah.
Well, it's so beautiful there.
Yeah, it really is. It's gorgeous.
Now, what did he do for a living?
He was comptroller of the University of Oregon State.
Oh, he had a good job.
Yeah, he did.
This was in his backyard.
No, this is trying to think where that park is there. This is a.
But it's in
state,
Oregon.
Yeah, there's several places like this in Oregon, but this was.
What's that little
Silver-
tiny rail look?
Silver Falls or something like that. Well, I think that's pretty neat.
It is. See, that's what I'm saying. You did a great job, photography. You got everything, and you got a lot of scenery.
Well, the trick on
and they're all walking around leaving you.
Yeah, that's typical. But the thing about when you're taking movies is you got to watch how you pan it. You don't want to move too quick because it gets jerky. And
Exactly.
it took me a while to learn how to do that. And I had a very decent camera for the time. I mean, it wasn't a commercial grade, but it was, or professional grade, but it was. That was the night they came over and brought the Beatles that we'd never heard of before, and they were dancing to
the Beatles then.
And back over this way, there is where the record player was. And you guys were all having a good time.
Everybody's just dancing.
You can see why they never turned pro, okay?
Then, see, there's Aunt Joey and Mom. And their shifts.
Well, everybody got in.
They always wore shift dresses. I thought that was funny. And Craig, he's all energetic.
See, that would have been 1963, probably.
Yeah.
64, probably. Because that car, we just looked
But see how you did a good job of getting everybody,
Well, that's what you try to do. He's a little more light. But,
and then...
oh, yeah, let's not forget about those. That was got to be a big thing, too.
The limbo. Craig just walks under it practically. Actually, Ted does some really low ones later.
Well, Ted was going to do a lot of things like that.
See, now watch. See, he did. I thought that was pretty good.
I did, too.
There's Dan. Oh.
Hey, everybody getting into the actor.
He did it again. I thought, and there were curtains and stuff. But see, if we got together, we did silly things like this.
Well,
There's Grandma.
There's something down.
But nobody was sitting around watching television.
Oh, we did.
It was so fun just to
And
do
that's
that.
what I liked all that time. That's why I said I feel like
A dinosaur.
I really do. I feel like I don't belong here anymore.
All this technology.
All the stuff that goes on today, I just
It's amazing.
don't like a lot of it.
Like Craig.
Greg was lowering it down. I guess you started going in there. A little bit.
Think Mark. Everybody's taking a turn.
I'm
though.
surprised everybody got into it, but they did, didn't they?
Absolutely. Everybody had a turn. Now this is kind of fun. This is Mark. And it looks like he has that vroom noise thing on.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah.
And he's trying to go, and then pretty soon his knees start burning. So he's like, ow.
This was, I think, maybe
Where was this?
the first house we moved into in Danville on Meadowview, I think it was. The other one was on Grant Drive.
Okay.
You know, they had to have all the latest stuff, and the playthings.
Well, I didn't even know that, but I took this out to show Rocky not too long ago, and he's the one who noticed the room. I hadn't even noticed it. He said, oh, yeah. He said, it made it sound like you had a motorbike. Okay, now we're at Yellowstone, I think.
There was one of them got up on the door outside the car.
I could not believe it. It was like, oh, my gosh.
They get right in with you. They tell people not to get out of their cars, and everybody, a lot of them were, but we didn't. There it is. He got right on the window.
I was like, they are so close.
Joanne was sitting there right there, that bear just in the window now.
Eek!
Could have give you a start.
But yeah, they're super friendly. And then, just more of Yellowstone, I think. Must have been real sunny or something. It's not flat.
This was probably around the Old Faithful, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Those clay pots, maybe.
Yeah. Then.
Have you been there?
Mm-hmm.
You remember the pots?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So is this more just a touristy?
This probably is, that's probably Cody, Wyoming.
Okay.
They had a lot of Wild Bill stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
And Calamity, was it Calamity Jane?
Mm-hmm.
Or not? One of those women.
Yeah. Yeah, there
That
was
guy
another
looked-
one.
The other one, I can't think of her name, but...
Then see, look at all the buffalo is what you're taking here.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's a lot. Usually, when I went out there, we didn't see any bears,
Oh, didn't you?
and we saw elk. We saw mostly elk, and I think we saw one moose.
That's a mule deer right there. Yeah, those are along the road to either going in the...
What's this rock thing? Like that.
That's the one, I think that's that formation going through Mount Rushmore, I believe.
Yeah, because I think this is it.
You know,
There it is. I can kind of see them.
Yeah, those mule deers were back in that area. I remember going by those.
There they are.
Later on, the kids got bigger. I asked Mark on that. I said, what do you remember about some of the trips we took? He said, I like that metal with all the guys' heads on it. Real history buff there.
Oh. Yeah, you can actually see this on the computer rather than the TV. In fact, on the TV, I couldn't tell what that even was.
Yeah, it's too a little bit.
So we'll just watch it here. But,
I'm not sure. That's one of the tourist places probably.
You got some kind of chain, small and chain. Look at
It's hard to tell what that is. It's just made it up so much.
Yeah.
Of course, you got to realize those films are, 50 years old?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, they've deteriorated some. Now, the only bad thing about that kind of film is it does deteriorate.
Here comes another bear. But I bet that was just beautiful at the time.
Yeah,
you know, just panning through those trees and rocks, and here's some kind of fall.
That might be Oregon. We thought driving around Oregon and went over and stayed at Newport for several days, maybe a week, which is right on the ocean. And that was a nice, beautiful place there. And that was Old Faith's.
Yeah, you get a
So that's all in
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Here it goes. See, so you've got this great shot. You're back far enough to see the whole thing.
Right near there is that beautiful lodge. It's all made out of timber, most beautiful timber. And it was built, I think, back in Roosevelt's time, I think.
Really?
These have deteriorated quite a bit.
Well, some of them are really good, so you kind of get through some of this, and then it's like, oh, wow, like the state fair. The World Fair is really good. You can see a lot of stuff. There's Oregon.
There was something.
It said, welcome to Oregon.
Yeah.
But just look at those hills and mountains. And
Oregon is an interesting state in that along the coastline, there's all these mountains, beautiful hilly ground, forests, just waterfalls, and you get just a little bit east of those, and it's desert. From Bend and Burns, that area, just flat like it is here in Illinois, and then you get to the coast, it's just mountainous. It's hard to say. There's Ross.
these are just beautiful falls.
I'm pretty sure that's Silver Spring. I think that's what it's called. It might have been Silver Springs National Park, too. It might have been called that. I'll have to tell Ross I watched it. I said we could tell who it was because you were that bald ring in your head. So he spots you right off. That's probably the family. You got big members right there because Norman had 4 boys and a girl and a daughter, so they were probably all there.
4 boys.
And one of them just had a brain surgery this couple weeks ago. Yeah, Ross and really upset about it.
Oh, I bet. Look at that big logging truck that just went by.
Those things scared the very devil out of
Look
me.
at them, they're huge.
And these are mountain roads that just back like this down the mountain, and they
It
just
looks like
go
you're
right
dipping
by.
the logs. It looks like everywhere there.
They terrified me because they would not, they just go right around you, whether you could see around or not.
Oh my gosh. Playing in the sand.
That's probably along the coastline when we stayed, that place where we stayed at Newport. And there's some dunes there, but we went over and rode those dune buggies too.
Oh, really?
Is that in here?
Not that I saw.
Yeah.
That looks more ocean-like.
Yeah, the kids, you'd have probably done the same thing. You go looking for those sand dollars. And
Mm-hmm.
along that coast there, they used to get a lot of those glass floats from the Japanese.
Oh, really? See,
Fishing
and I didn't know
nets.
who that was. The long hair.
Yeah. Christine. I can't get a good look at her. I think it might be Christine. Put those float for a prize collection if you can find one.
Really?
They're about that big around.
Oh,
Glass,
big one.
clear glass. Kind of greenish looking color. Yeah, I think that's Christine.
Then there's some movies of the little lake at Ogden.
It's
Is
Ross.
that Ross? Isn't it? And you're filming something here. I'm not sure, but it's probably something in the water.
Yeah, it's those anemones, I think. Those Ross is kind of, and the little tide pools, you know, so Ross was fascinated with those, so I'll show you some pictures of
Goes
back on the road again.
Oh. Just goes on and on.
We must have thought it was important enough to film. It looks like every other place right now, doesn't it?
Then I thought it was interesting how dressed up you are to travel.
Oh, yeah.
You're in a suit,
Oh, yeah.
getting everything all tied up.
All right. That was the trip to Oregon. That car was brand new then.
It looks nice.
Yeah, that's my favorite car.
What was it?
Yeah. 64 Dodge.
64 Dodge.
That's one of the best cars I ever owned and one I like the best.
Was it air conditioned?
Yeah. Because not everybody had air conditioning. And when we were driving across the desert, when Norma said she was just really worried about it, and we got there and found out we had air conditioning. She said, oh, you guys just make
You
me
didn't
sick.
tell her.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Yeah, ready to go.
Action.
Not sure what that is.
That's, I think that's one of our houses, or place over there. That might have been the one on the Holly Crest, but I don't know what it would be mixed in that.
Yeah, it kind of jumps around a little bit, like.
Well, somebody, I didn't run the whole roll at one time. And I would get maybe half a roll finished. So whatever come up next, I'd film it right on the end of
Oh,
that.
sure.
What I did later on was I'd take the film apart and edit it and splice them together so it has some continuity to it.
Yeah, somebody has a little more technical savvy than I do, could put this all in sequential order.
Right.
You know, because there's some other twisting scenes and that are towards the end that kind of belong up with that other. But see, everybody's looking at something. He's feeding something. See?
Craig is a busy guy.
He was a busy guy. See, and they got some kind of squirrel thing going on down there.
Oh.
It looks different than other
Yeah, I don't know what that
squirrels.
is. Not a squirrel.
I don't know, but it just looked
That must
like
be in
that.
Oregon.
And everybody's loading up to take
That's
some
the
kind
dune
of...
buggy.
There you see, you're right. Sand Dunes Frontier.
Oh, we had a lot of fun on those. They just, you go up and slide all down those things this way. You can't turn them over because the sand it gives. And yeah, they were in.
You see, you're getting everybody inside. I just thought that was amazing that you're filming on the run.
There were some sea lions there too. That place was down the bottom of a cliff. There were just hundreds of them there, and you can walk down inside that edge of the cliff there, wind down, and down the bottom there's a big cave where they can get in. And one of them was petrified, and they just left it there.
Oh my gosh. That's your driver apparently explaining something.
Oh yeah, that's the way. And they wouldn't let us back.
Petrified sea lion.
Yeah. Well, the Oregon coastline is beautiful. It's not like other places with a lot of sand and things like that, but it's rugged and wooded and just
I've never been to
gorgeous.
Oregon.
I like Oregon. There's one of those tide pools.
Mm-hmm. Devil's Churn.
That might be where the sea lions are. I don't remember. There's a lot of places like that along the coast.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Ross living there, he knew where the whole place is.
Oh, I imagine so.
Otherwise, that's always helps.
There's some nice hedges there.
That's the place we stayed in along the coast. They're individual cabins.
Wow. Now, who did he play for? It says like TP.
Back.
T-Pack.
Yeah.
There's Rocky.
Those two guys.
Now, Rocky didn't seem to remember Ted or Mark playing. I said, well, we have evidence that they did, so I don't know if they didn't play a long time or...
Well,
I said,
Mark or Ted played on
is it Little League or Farm League?
Little League. And at Danville, the Little Leaguers all got uniforms like that.
Oh,
And
that's what...
Here they just got a
I see what you're
sweatshirt or a
saying.
t-shirt or a
Yeah,
hat.
yeah, you see them playing, they're just in their jeans.
Yeah, well, that was when you're on Little League. That was a good picture of Joanne there, wasn't it?
It was. There's some more good ones of her and Mom. There he is.
I should know that place. There's one that just reminds me of something I can't remember.
Yeah, I didn't know where it was.
I think it's in well, it's got to be Danville because that's T-Pack's.
That's T-Pack's in there. Okay, that's why I didn't know what the T-Pack that was. TP.
It's T-E and then P-A-K.
Yeah, I saw it on his shirt once. You said, oh, what? It hit me. There she is.
And
No more clothesline. No stuff.
Oh, yeah. And then Mark, he got on the team, and of course, he had about as much athletic ability as I did. But he got a uniform that was huge, way too big for him because they got the cast-offs from
this
the other teams.
Mm-hmm.
And he was out there with all this full of pepper, color, what are they doing? And he,
Chattering and stuff. And where's this? This is some kind of big rocket silo or something.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to where did that girl was.
Did you stop at an air museum somewhere?
Yeah, we went. Yeah, that might. Yeah, the Air Force Museum right there. It's on those pennants. I did. Yeah, we did. I did take him over there to the Air Force Museum.
I mean, look at it. I mean,
Yeah,
this
that's
is
what that
great.
Yeah.
Where was this?
That's in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, okay. First in flight. Of course, I should remember that.
It's well, not right in Dayton. It's actually in Fairborn. I think it's the same of the town that's in that Dayton
They're
area.
huge there, and they just let you wander around like that. It's so cool.
If you've never been there, you should go.
I have not
It's
been
huge.
there.
It's twice as big now as it was when we were there with this. It's wonderful to see all those planes. That's a zero. That's what was that? B-36.
Look how big they are.
Those are outdoor now. Now they're all indoors.
Are they indoors now?
It's a huge place.
Amazing.
But slide that plane out, look at them.
I know. It's like, oh my
They
God.
just keep getting smaller the closer they get to it.
There you are. See their tires. Yeah, it's amazing.
You knew my brother was an Air Force person, didn't you?
I did not.
Well, he was a colonel, and he was stationed at the Pentagon for a while, and
Oh my
he was
gosh.
wanted us to go to this.
Well, definitely worth the trip. It's
Oh,
amazing.
absolutely. That's a B-29. I think Boxcar's the one that dropped the bomb on, not Nagasaki,
Oh.
I think. The other one,
The Enola Gay.
yeah, that's the one that dropped the other bomb, Hiroshima. to like that name.
Look at that. It looks so modern for back then. It must have taken you a long time to see everything. It's so huge.
You can't see it all in one day. See, some of them are damaged. You see, they get some damage from moving them in there.
Probably.
Most of them were flown in because there's an Air Force base there. I can't think of the name of it now. Well, anyway, it's unimportant. But that's a B-36. No, what type is that for us? I'm forgetting the names of some of these things. I guess that comes with age.
Or, I don't even know what they are. You could say any number.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
okay. Yeah, that's a B-49.
Sure. I said that.
Then you're back on the road.
Oh, here we go. This looks like Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you're going east for sure. So that must have been quite a trip.
Yeah, it was. We had a good time. Went to Washington, D.C. and then up the coast to...
Now you could just take off work,
Well,
or is this your vacation?
Yeah, vacation.
That's neat.
Yeah. But those times when they get away from you, they're gone forever. If you don't do something when you're that age, I want to make sure that they got to see some of those at that time in their life. Yeah, I think this is the Pennsylvania Turnpike. That's a beautiful road.
Well, and back then...
Yeah, that was a big deal.
That was a big...
Yeah, it really was.
But it's so fun to look at the cars, everything has, and these great big cars. The big bridge coming out.
And then we drove up the coast to New York, and then, as you said, was the fair.
Then there's the Arlington Cemetery, and Kennedy's grave.
And that was just...
Right after.
Right after.
Yeah, it was super crowded.
Yeah. Well, you can always get in that place. It was just amazing. No one who didn't live through that will ever understand how it hit us all.
Yeah, that's huge. Look, here he is.
Now, this was on Hank's boat on Chesapeake Bay.
Oh, okay. And I wondered why he had a life vest on.
My brother put him up there in the driver's seat. Of course, Mark, well, he was just...
Yeah. Hey!
It's a rigatized boat. Had 2 engines on it. And so I got down inside the cabin and shot out into the light.
That's a good shot, yeah. This is your cemetery. Look at the people. You must have waited a long time.
Oh, he did. And these were the original hats, the servicemen's hat that were left on the grave, all the original stuff there.
Oh,
Because it happened in November, and we were there in, like, June or July.
Following.
Just a few months after it happened. Yeah, there's about, you probably know all this, but there's 10 or 12 funerals a day at Arlington.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And the old guard is the...
It shows them, too. You have those.
Yeah, that's because I've been on some flying squads, and we never can get them all off at the same time. You watch those into those barrels, that flame comes out exactly at everyone at the same time. That's the most hardest thing to do, this is the Eustis, well, that's the old estate that's right above Kennedy's grave, Eustis Lee.
Yeah, so you got up there and got that shot back
Now,
there.
this is where they said John Kennedy stood one time and looked out, and he looked out over the bridge that goes over the Potomac to Lincoln's tomb, and he said, I'd just like to stay here forever. Well, he got his wish.
Oh, my gosh.
This is where that view from that point, it's foggy, you can see that day. Now just watch the fire at the end of these barrels. It's really impressive. That's probably the old guard.
It's perfect.
Just like one blast. And they're the ones that guarded the tomb of the unknown soldier.
Yeah, there's a person there. We have that one too.
And,
That must have been very moving. To
well,
watch
yeah,
that.
it gets ready to ring your bell.
Here's the one. Comes up.
To get in that, be stationed at the old guard is quite the honor.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I think it's the best of the best, and you have to be a certain height, and you have to be trim. They polish their shoe and do their brass every day. They have a haircut every day, and they have to look the same every day.
Wow.
It's quite a demanding schedule, but the guys that do it really love it.
Lincoln. I mean, look at all this history they got to see.
That's
so
what
amazing.
that's what I was aiming for, to try to let them see it at that age.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know they probably get back on their own later on. I don't know if they ever have or not, but
Oh, I don't think so. I know Rocky hasn't been
we had a good time with Rocky. That trip, he went with us.
back. Mm-hmm. Like little Mr. Briefcase.
He's still the same today. He's a great guy.
Yep.
He looks so good. You got to get those pictures up to 10 of him. My God, look at him at age he is when I was. He looks better than I did when I was 40.
He looks good.
God. Because I was on this, I worked a lot harder than he did. That's why he looks
There's probably more to it than we'd like to
Well, that's
say.
true. I work all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. I work all the time. And that's what they had to do to, because I thought, to maintain our home and take care of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you had the flower shop and real estate and just,
And we were building a new home. This is Dulles Airport.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And we didn't have to go there. I just took them there so they could see that building because I know it's so neat looking.
It is neat looking.
And then they had those people movers in that nobody else had, those vehicles.
Conveyor belt kind of things.
No, these are like vehicles, and they look like a big long sausage, you know. Well, there's one right there. No, yeah, it is. And they back up to the terminal, you load on, you drive out, and they in line right up with the door, and they open the door, and you get right onto it.
Oh my gosh.
In Dulles, there's our car right there. This is Maryland, I think. That's one of those Maryland houses. They're all along the coast there in Maryland. I can't read those things.
That's on the toll booth. Through traffic. Look how nice that is. Oh,
I guess we were trying to get those pictures of those signs so you could know where we were.
and we could probably stop it to see
Yeah.
what it is. Afton or something. Welcome to.
Someplace.
Mm-hmm. When you go through a tunnel,
Yeah.
this. Ooh, what a bridge.
The tunnel, that's one of those, I think that was Holland Tunnel, maybe
Uh-huh.
in New York City.
You can see that. Here's New Jersey Turnpike.
Yeah, there-
you can
that's
see
it.
that one. There you are.
There's
That
the
must
gate.
have stopped.
There's one, okay.
Mm-hmm. Little thin tie. Now Rocky did remember a lot. He remembered some kind of duck boats, like that went into the water
Right.
and different things about the trip.
Well, I've always thought, if you're going to go someplace, let's do something when you're there. I don't want to just go there and say I've been there.
Right.
And so I tried to always let them do stuff when we got there. I don't know what's that all about.
There's, see those little, they look like
Oh, yeah.
cars, and then the Bounty.
I don't know where that's in Massachusetts, isn't it?
I think so.
TWA. That's, I forgot what that plane, a Lockheed something or other. They land in the water, didn't it?
See? Aqua foil.
Okay, now that's the
That's
boat
what
we
he
took.
remembered.
Yeah, we took that to go to the fair. Instead of riding the train out there, we took this. And it gets up on those.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
It's like it rises up.
Yeah, there you can see it starting to get up on those
He
like
thought that
skis.
was so cool.
Yeah, it was. The only,
There, bounty visitors.
that's New York.
That's
The bad thing about that was we got back it was dark and later at night, and they dropped us off at that docking place. There was nothing there, nobody, no cabs, nothing.
What'd you do?
Walked.
I hope nobody mugged you or something.
Well, I was worried about I'll be able to say that. And we walked. I knew about where the hotel was because we were staying at the Hilton. And I knew about, because I've been in Newark before. And so we started walking. We started going by the Veterans Administration office, and there were about 4 or 5 guys walking this way toward us. They were all walking abreast, which I thought was kind of odd. They were getting close. Oh, God.
What's this?
It turned out they were just workmen out taking a break. And about that time, a cab pulled up, and I went out and got in trouble. I wasn't going to let him go by.
Get us the cab. This must be the World's Fair
yeah.
because of all that.
This was the entrance.
Look at these. They look like little hovercrafts.
Yeah,
I think that was pretty cool.
That was one of the big deals. You had to ride those.
And the monorail.
That was one of the rides. I don't know what it was called.
And these are pretty good pictures, actually, all the way through this.
There's the bunch.
But Rocky remembered those giant pretzels.
Yeah.
He said they were just gigantic. And we could see they are. Yeah, they're coming. They've been on the ride.
Mr. Cool.
And then there's the log ride. Then Mark gets on a helicopter thing, which is kind of cool.
Oh, well, their sweaters. I must have been cool that day.
And it's not free. It's attached to a big arm.
Yeah.
And I thought he's pretty little to get in there and do that.
Right in front. I think that's why boys get right in there. Craig, was Mr. Airplane.
Oh, I know.
God, he loved airplanes. I wore our car out driving up to the Willard for him to steal his jet ski. And what he liked best of all is when the one of them would turn around and you get the jet blast, you can smell all that kerosene.
Yes.
And like perfume to you.
She has that big arm,
Yeah.
but still. It looks weird.
Oh, God. Another lifetime ago. My God, I just didn't see all those.
I know. I just was delighted to find it.
They look like they made it all right.
Yep.
See, everybody's got sweaters on.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know what the deal was with this guy.
Oh, that was some guy. He was up there just like a clown, just
Oh.
giving everybody the business and yelling at him.
And then was this like the
That's one
central
of the
pavilion?
pavilions. Yeah, they, each, they are the World's Fair used to be each country had a pavilion.
Mm. Big speakers. Time capsule. 5,000 years.
Guess we need to worry about that.
I guess not.
That was really a beautiful pavilion.
I wondered. I thought,
Yeah.
I bet that was so pretty to be there.
Anyway, I think I got the pictures of that Pieta, didn't I, of Michelangelo's?
I think so.
They brought it over special, which is hard. They didn't let anybody do that, but they let them bring it over for the fair. You couldn't stand much because you're on a moving sidewalk like it. It just you got to look as you went by.
That's kind of cool. Good. Here, you finally get on there. I think everybody's dressed up, though.
Oh, yeah. I'm having a good time.
I bet you're all tired as a lot of
We were
walking.
getting tired at the end of the day, but I don't like to be photographed anyway. Probably mine.
Then there's this little thing here in the middle, which I thought was kind of cute.
Well, we used to do that when some of those, because you get tired watching your whole movie there, so every once in a while I put in a cartoon.
I thought that was funny.
I thought it being very creative at the
Yeah,
time.
of course. You need to take a break?
Uh,
Okay. I'll get us some more coffee. Yeah, I think this is your tunnel.
yeah.
Keep in line. Do not pass in tunnel. Like, okay. Then I go. Little books, I mean, we keep being checked. Are you on the border or something? I mean, I couldn't figure out what. Stop here for government inspection.
Yeah. We did go into Canada a couple of times, but
I thought that was odd. Chicago.
oh, that's Detroit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a tunnel that goes under the river to Windsor, Canada.
Oh.
And so,
That's why you had to get inspection. Now this is at 909 Washington there. So,
we know a little about that place, don't we?
yes we do. And back to the air. Then they must have gone with you somewhere. Grandma and Grandpa.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, a couple of times.
So I wasn't sure.
So that might have been out at when we
Didn't
were
look all that.
Ted's wedding, too.
Oh.
Because we all went out to that.
Well, it's so old ago. And Grandpa wasn't alive for Ted's wedding, was he?
No, that's right.
Seeing these little cars and stuff, everybody's getting in one. I thought that was kind of funny. Off they go.
I thought I tracked it.
Uh-huh. I thought that was funny for that age group to be in that. I thought that was funny.
All right. Devil may care.
It had to be fun.
Yeah, well, we had a good time doing all that. Those things.
I was trying to figure out where that was.
Well, I'm trying to remember it too. But nothing is coming to me. I remember those cars, but I can't remember where they were.
And there's train.
Maybe that was at the fair. Because that looks like fair stuff there. Maybe Six Flags, because we went down there. I think Bill and Teresa did go down Six Flags with us.
And then there's the Blue Angels or something there. You should see it. The jets in formation all flying.
So that'd probably be in Chanute, wouldn't it?
Maybe. I wasn't sure. Look how close they are. You got some really good shots. Look how fast as they're going.
You know, imagine these things have gotten in there carried out of sequence, but and some of the film may have been damaged too. They just hooked together what they could salvage. Because that film gets brittle as it gets older.
Yeah.
And the sprockets tear out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I still got some films And I still have a movie camera or projector.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I haven't tried to play them for a long time. I had some of them put over on those cassettes of Dorothy and the Lion, and some of my grandparents' stuff up in Kankakee.
Wow.
So I didn't share that with you. I might have, I don't know if I seemed like I sent one of them to Joanne too, but I don't remember.
You just got and followed those, just amazing.
I used to try to rest my arms on something so I could hold the camera, with both hands.
Mm-hmm. Because look, it was going around. That's so neat.
Most of the airplane stuff I did was for Craig.
Mm-hmm. Because he liked it so
Oh
much.
my God, he just loved it. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but we let him ride that DC-9 from Willard down to St. Louis by himself. And my brother was in the Air Force was stationed
what an opportunity.
And so he waited at the airport. The only reason they let us put him on is because we were this in, and there was no stops. And they knew Hank was waiting for him.
Oh, I bet he was
You talk about being a big shot guy. He said, I'm going to order something to eat on the plane. I said, order something out by a half hour.
Oh, that was neat.
And of course, Hank just took him around that segments or anything.
Sure.
Now,
who's this?
That's
I didn't know who that was.
that's Mark's go-kart. Of course, that looks like Damon. Hank's my brother's daughter's child. Kind of looks like him. This was next door at Stoughton Street.
Now there's Mark.
Now that's it.
That's awesome.
Well, that's why I said he had to move twice before uniform day.
But yeah, he's got it all up. His hat.
Mark had all the desire and love and everything, just couldn't look very good, which is that for me. When you ever saw anybody play out there,
He's ready.
whatever that stuff is, they holler.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's a good picture.
That's fine.
Okay.
Teresa's porch box.
I know theirs looks so good all the time. She had those tiger lilies out front. I don't see them there.
Bill probably voted there. That's it, Bill. Tell her I did.
Yeah, I knew. And we've talked so many times about that lot. Next door seeming to be so big. And when you see it as an adult, it's like, oh, it's just a lot. It's nothing. We played and played out there.
A little animosity there.
And I think that these were the neighbors or something. I didn't know who the woman was. You'll see her here in a little bit. I knew Mary Kavanaugh, but I don't know who this woman is. So. There's a lot of pipe smoking between you and Grandpa and Dad even.
Yeah, we were all.
I was like, that's this woman. I didn't know who that was. Because like I said, I knew Mary Kavanaugh, but I didn't know who that was. I didn't know the neighbors. I didn't know who lived next to him. Is Albright or something like that? I don't know.
But where is this building?
That's what I don't know. I didn't know if it was a neighbor to 909 or if you were looking
No, I
at
think
something
this
in the
is someplace
neighborhood.
we went.
I didn't know.
We took Bill down someplace in Tennessee or
Oh, to
someplace.
see his family or
Yeah,
something?
look up some family things.
Oh, maybe that was it then. Like an old family home.
And there was a lot of stuff around there about Davy Crockett,
Oh,
and that might have been something to do with that. But this looks like, well, that was the end of the film that picked for that.
then this is Rockholm Garden. I recognize it after.
Okay.
So you're down there in Arcola. Doesn't look like that now.
Very few things to do with where band about half the stuff I grew up with is no longer there.
Mm-hmm. See, that's a tree house way up
Yeah.
the top. Made of rocks.
I don't even remember going there, but
I've been there a couple of
Obviously,
times to block it from him. Must have just been a day trip or something.
there's not much more there to keep you there. But
No.
how long is there?
Mm-mm.
Was it Arthur or Arcola?
It's Arcola.
Arcola.
Mhm. I said that. It looks like Aunt Joy's wearing a tablecloth. I just love looking at the fashions. And it had the bandanas, and then later you'll see these hairnets that they had on that were real big. Like, it's okay to wear this instead of my rovers. So it was funny. But that was all flowers. They did a nice job there. But
I know they find something to climb up on.
mm-hmm. It's just like Mark and Craig are doing those. And the boogie ride. They still have that stuff there. Last time I was.
There's the tablecloth there.
I just thought,
I understand
between
that.
that and the shifts, but they all wore dresses though.
Oh, yeah. Always dressed well. I thought they
Always.
did.
Yes, always.
Hair was always fixed up. It was just a gentler time, it really was.
Mm-hmm. And then what is this? What is this car?
That's a hearse.
I know, but it wasn't yours, was it?
Oh, no, that was belonged to one of Ted's friends,
Oh, okay.
David Dunn.
Like the Munsters or something.
I think that was David Dunn. He was so proud of that.
Oh, I can imagine when you're young, it probably isn't it? That was funny. And I was,
That's a warplane. That's
almost looks like a Mustang, but I don't think it is.
yeah, it is. It's exactly what it is. You're not supposed to know stuff like that.
I know what a Mustang is because of movies.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was our...
Well, I always thought it was cool because you could go out onto the runway at Willard years ago. You just met everybody right out at the plane.
And at Lambert Field down there in St. Louis, you can drive down on the end of the property, and the runways are right there, and these planes come land, they come right down over the top of it, and Hank took Craig out there and set him up on top of the car, and Craig awestruck. Because those planes, they just like they're going to land on you.
Like that?
You can feel the rush of the wind. That's up at Bales Lake.
Bales Lake. The little life preservation.
We spent a lot of time up there.
I'm not sure what he's doing here, but it might be his bicycle lock because that's one of those nice English racers. Those are super popular. He gets it going. Mm-hmm.
Well, they had 2 bikes stolen there at that property.
That's just a storeroom?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought it looked like that playground.
Yeah, that's Thornburg School's
Mm-hmm.
playground. And they both had those Stingray bikes. Remember those?
Yes, I do.
Banana seats on them.
I do.
And they both got stolen. And so I think this was one of them. he was a little bit bigger anyway, and this really appealed to him. It had a gear shift.
And it's a little dog of some kind.
So that's Mortimer.
Mortimer. I remember that name now. But he markets it like that.
I didn't like that dog, but he loved me.
Oh, no. Isn't that the way it is?
Once you got I'd sit down on the couch, and he'd jump up and sit next to him. I'd probably look at me like this. And he'd sit down like this, and the person would start. Oh,
my gosh.
There's a good picture of Russ.
Mm-hmm. Mom, Eric. So I think we're camping again.
Yeah, we did a lot of that, didn't we?
And there's me and my friend Julie. I don't know how I talked her into coming. So I steal his marshmallow. And the Frisbees.
Oh,
How big they are. They're like so small now.
So you got something to eat, all right, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Wait, where did it go? That big old car. He's still cooking. I do know Craig liked fire, too.
Oh, God.
He was always messing in the fire.
Oh, sit down as a kid, you did this stuff.
Even the fireplaces in hot
Yeah.
homes, he'd be
Yeah.
poking around. See, even camping they have dresses on. Here's Ted.
Yeah, I think this is that laid down by Homer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's probably where those pictures just before this was taken.
Mm-hmm. Wee.
Already losing my hair, I see. That started at an early age.
Looks like a pizza pan. And still got that nice car.
Yeah. That really was a big
It still
car.
looks new there.
Well, it got wax in that, but it should be pretty good.
And we're back by some kind of water.
We had a lot of different places, so it could be about anything really. But we did go with that little lake down there quite several times, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill and I drove back up to Ogden to the pig house one time and bought everybody those fish sandwiches at the other.
So I don't know. It almost looks like you were at Niagara Falls.
Yeah, that is Niagara Falls.
And like
That's
that
amazing.
Maiden Mist.
Maiden Mist, that's what that is. This was when we were on the way up to Bar Harbor.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Because I remember Aunt Joy talking about Bar Harbor.
And my sister was with us, my oldest sister.
Okay.
And this was why when we were at Niagara Falls.
So is that the same place?
That's
Look
it.
at that water.
Oh, that's scary as
Oh
hell.
my gosh.
And right there's the edge of it. You're going over. It just terrified you. You feel like you almost could get sucked into it.
It just looked amazing.
Going in, it's scary. It really is. You can't believe how fast that water moves.
And the big pants now. See this?
I like those bell bottom. I really did like those. Love that.
But it almost looks like a village has been washed away or something.
I know.
Where are they?
That's the edge of it right there. Of course, that's the mist from it. Yeah, see? That's the edge of it right there. You get the strangest feeling
Oh, I
standing
can
there next to it.
imagine. I wonder if they let
Water.
people stand that close now.
Well, some of it, when you rode it, they've had to keep moving it back. But
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, I wondered. I bet that's Niagara Falls.
I think we went down underneath the falls, too. You take those steps down in there, put on a raincoat.
Wow.
And after we got ready to leave there, we went in and we got in that car, turned the ignition on, started up, and all the red lights come on. And he was trying to make it plain white. And it was on the weekend. And we were supposed to be in Bar Harbor, like the next day or late in the day or something. And I couldn't get had to get the car towed. I didn't know where to take it. Finally, I had to call the police and ask them to recommend someplace, a tow guy. And, that's Bar Harbor. That's where
Okay,
we
that's
stayed.
what I wondered where that was too. And so they found your place?
Yeah, and then I had to leave the car. We had to rent a car. We rented
To go here?
Yeah. And then we stopped on the way back, of course, and picked up the car, and they fixed it by then. But the oil pump had gone out on it. That damn car had everything in the world went out on it. It was the worst car I ever owned. The one right after that, Blue Dodge, that green one, that was the worst car I ever owned.
Now, are they clamming
Yeah,
here?
that's exactly what they're doing.
Because they're like that little thing he's putting in.
Dorothy made clam chowder that night. The best clam chowder I ever ate. Oh my God, it was good.
Well, she must have known what to do with the clams then.
Oh, she did. There were quail hogs and cherry stones there. And those are two.
See what they jammed it in there. So
Yeah. They had a good time doing it. They were getting supper.
that is amazing. A little basket.
Well, they had those there where we stayed. The lady had 3 cabins there, I think. And
Watch this lady. Who is this? Just a neighbor or somebody vacationing?
that might be my sister.
She gets it all set up when she sits in
That's
the
my
bed.
sister. That's Dorothy.
Okay, watch. She was like, this can't be comfortable. Did they come with
She
her?
had a bout with cancer
Oh, she
at that
did?
time, and she wasn't feeling too good the whole time.
No, she got better, right?
Well, yeah, for a while after that she did, but we had a good time with her anyway.
See, they got
Here
better.
come the fishermen.
Well, it looked like the weather was good.
Well, it's always kind of, the water's kind of cold up there in that area. It's not really good, I guess, to swim in, but in the area it's so rugged, a lot of rocks. It is a beautiful place, I think. I like it up there better than just about anywhere. And when Dorothy was with us that day, we went, after we left this place, we went and got on a ferry and went across to Yarmouth, Nova Scotia.
Really?
Yeah.
I always thought Nova Scotia sounded fun to go to. Just
It's
the
really neat
name
place
of
to
it.
go. There's a place up there called Peggy's Cove, and it's an old fishing village that they preserved.
Really?
And all the houses, it's very stark, very plain. And the houses are painted like bright yellow, bright blue, it's like that so much up there that they made their houses bright just to
Cheer
have something
things up.
colorful.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some rocks up there as big as this room. And they said that the ocean threw them up out of those big violent storms they had, which is hard to believe.
That is hard to believe, but possible.
And over in New Brunswick, there's a place called Magnetic Hill that the kids just went crazy for because it's an optical, that's Dorothy. It's an optical illusion, but you drive on this road and you put your brakes on
Okay.
to go downhill. If I get this right now. You put on your brakes to go uphill. Because you swear that you're going uphill and you're not. You're going downhill. But you put your brakes on and you're still going like this.
Oh my gosh.
Strange feeling.
That, I can't imagine.
You
This
ask,
was kind of a weird,
you ask Ted about that.
I will.
I just say magnetic, you don't see what it says.
Okay.
I'm not sure what this, that might be the witch's place in New Salem. At Salem, Massachusetts.
The witch's place.
Well, I should not put
The
it
Salem witch trials, you mean?
Yeah, it's there, but where Nathaniel Hawthorne wrote,
Oh.
you're right. And there was a secret stairway next to that fireplace. You could open up this panel, and it's hard to do, but just step it up around the chimney inside. You could get up and watch out at sea.
Oh.
And they said the women used to go up there and watch for their husbands coming back.
Sailors.
Because they'd been out for a year or so.
That's so pretty. just wonder. All that covered walkway.
Yeah.
But you're obviously still in the main area.
Yeah, I think.
Or out east somewhere. So you can't see them.
It says, it might be Nathaniel Hawthorne's house. It might say that on there.
That's pretty cool.
Keep going, get that sign. Because Joanne loved that place because, you know, how she was about reading.
Oh, yes.
And so that really appealed to her.
I bet it is because, see, she's dressed like, and then here's Mr. Graduate, high school.
Some hairdo.
Mm-hmm. What's next? Oh, more bike riding. That was great. And then there's some little poodly thing.
Yeah.
What was that dog's name?
I think that was Sophie, I think.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I think that was Sophie.
Is this Stoughton too? I don't
No,
remember those
well, yeah,
letters.
that is Stoughton. That's right. I'm funny that push was made like that.
Little holes in it. Looks like she's ready for work, kind of, like Carl.
Yeah, probably was.
Boink! I'm glad I missed you. There's your flower shop van. Then I think this might be Danville. Is this another Danville house?
Yeah, I think that's that house we built on a lake shore.
Yeah, it was, I'm pretty sure by the lake. This is the one I remember. I didn't remember we had two others.
Because all those trees about went down in an ice storm.
You filmed that too.
Yeah, oh, did it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's that house.
Is it that little dog that you didn't, Mortimer?
I can't tell that far away. It could be when it's a pup, I guess.
That was neat because the woods were right there.
Yeah.
And then there was a lake not too far.
It's all built up now. The whole area built up.
That was a pretty house. You built that one, though.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, no, it isn't. That's the side yard, isn't it? No, that was the back looking at it. At night, that storm hit, you could just, it was just crack, and the little tree fall down.
Wow.
Those were all planted by the Conservation Corps back in their first Depression. Yeah, that's Mortimer.
Your buddy.
Well, the funny thing about it was, when we lived on Stone Street, he got lost. We didn't know where he was. He was gone about almost a year. And he came back on my birthday.
A year on your birthday.
And Mark and Ted just laughed. They couldn't stop laughing. It was funny.
That's
He said,
amazing.
"You want to come back for your birthday?"
He probably looked at his little watch. Hey!
Oops, I gotta go. I got an important day.
Somebody, there it is, all the ice. It bent everything over.
It's hard to believe that's the same scene, isn't it?
It is, let's look at that.
The reason those trees were so weak was they were planted just right close together. I cut out probably 50 or 60 trees in that front yard, and there were still that many left. So being so close together, they never did develop fully. They should have been thinned out.
How'd you ever get all that cleaned up? Did you have to clean it up, or did the city do it? Or?
Oh, that's on our property, we had to clean it up.
Big foofy hat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got your boots on.
Ready for anything.
Then you went to a ball game. Grandma and Grandpa were with you on this one, too. National League.
Is that really good? Can you tell?
I don't know. I would think it would be, but...
Because somebody talked me into going to a baseball game.
Cubs.
And I'm not a baseball fan. I'm not really a sports fan or anything, but and the game was like 17 or 18 innings.
I see we're up at the farm here, so obviously everybody...
Still doing the twist.
He's acting like, look at Ted's cracking up. But yeah, we're all up there. That's at Dwight. So I don't know what the occasion was, just maybe a trip up like to see the farm.
But we went up there one time and then went to Mizan, remember?
For the fossil hunting,
Yeah.
that's here too.
And that might have been why we were there.
Mm-hmm.
Such a dear child.
Yeah, it was a pretty big group because like Rhonda's in the car and
I'll bet that's what it was, because we all had a good time doing
so
that.
we're all coming out to get in. Let's go. There's Grandpa. Okay, that's Rhonda. Rocky. Mark. Hollywood. Then we stopped to see that big
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
coal
Damn it,
mining thing.
I got about as close as I felt like it was safe to see that wheel going because it was right there.
You got some really good shots of it. It's dim.
Yeah. It's amazing that it goes on like that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't imagine they'd let you get that close now. Back then, we just stand right here on the edge.
Well, you walked across some farm ground, seemed like to get there, but it's probably along the coal mine, but nobody paid attention to it.
Nobody did. But now, if they saw somebody with a camera...
Oh my God, yeah. If the camera and break it, they're probably doing something nasty.
Yeah.
Boy, no, there's a bunch.
I know, look how many. Don't get in. See, you got that.
Yeah. But there was one where I run up, looking at it, where I was working, it was coming right on the edge of it. Which is probably not too bright.
Crump. Yeah, that was amazing. I don't know what that was. Oh, here we are. Commonwealth Edison. Well, they were up at the lock.
Yeah, well, we've never been around a little nuclear plant before, so that's why we got that picture. It's kind of dumb, I think.
Part of the tour, apparently. We gotta go here. This was boring to me. I remember when I watching the food up and then they can float the barge through, and it took so long.
It is boring, right?
Okay, can we go?
I understand the concept. Let's go get something to eat.
Let's go.
Here comes the barge.
Mm-hmm. But we filmed everything, so that's... It brings back a memory.
Yeah, it certainly does that.
Now we're at the fossil hunting. China. Yeah. There. Look at you having a great time. him go now. So somebody was filming you.
Well, probably Joanne, because I naturally showed her how to do it, and because she wanted to take some pictures every once in a while. And so I gave her the best instructions I could.
Got you a couple of times pretty good. You're right, we had to walk through all these weeds to get here. Because I didn't think we ever arrived. Archaeology.
We probably set archaeology back up.
I really appreciate you doing this, coming on this to help me understand.
It's not bad. Nothing at all.
Like I said, I was going to give Mark a copy and Ted, if he didn't have one, and say, okay, here's who's on here, and just so you
Well,
know.
it's nice to have it spread around the family so that everybody will have a copy, for whatever reason.
I sent a copy to Mom and Dad, but they're kind of like you. They don't have the things to play it on, like, so either their DVD player's broken or something, so they have so many computers. Well, everybody had a little hammer. Remember those little flap-up sunglasses?
Big deal. The reason I got those originally was when we were going out east, and you go through those tunnels, coming in out of the white sun, it was hard for me to see. And I could just flip that out, and we'll go through the tunnel and flip them back down again. And we got out, it worked pretty well. And I think I just kept on getting them after that.
This is still all up by the farm, I think. It's a Dwight, and we went into Verona or something.
Well, when you're taking these things, you think, well, this is going to be good for something later on. But now you didn't think about it. I should identify what it is, because who the heck's going to know what it is otherwise?
Well, nowadays it sounds with it.
Well, I know,
but back then, you're right, there's nothing. So I thought, well, let's just try to get some of it.
Must have some reason for doing it. Oh, I think that's Wheatfield, Indiana.
Oh.
And that was the house we lived at when I was born in that house.
So you drove over there to see that?
And my brothers, I never said gravestone, my brothers died just ahead of me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we wondered what cemetery it was.
Yeah, well, it's in Wheatfield, Indiana, and we always talk about it because this brother died just a year before I was born, and that's the site right there. And I was given up for dead at birth.
Oh, you were?
And
who's with you? Who's the
Clarence, my brother.
Oh, Clarence.
And he knew the area because he was, 9 years older than me, 10 years older. And so he remembered living there, of course, and I'd being born there, I wouldn't know anything about it. He knew where to look for it. And that was the house we lived in, and I forgot about having that, or taking that.
Well, that's young Clarence. That's not you. Is that you?
Yeah,
and that's Clarence.
That's my brother. Yeah, this is painful, but I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, my grandmother wouldn't give up on me. And mother said that she was holding me, so I was just totally blue and not moving at all.
I didn't know.
She said she was trying to blow breath in my mouth, and she got two pans, one hot water and one cold water. So she put me in one and then in the other, one and then the other.
No.
And I finally started breathing. And that's so 11 been here.
Oh my gosh.
So that's why I've always told people my whole life been a gift. You know,
You're getting hot water?
I got a free ride. I can't stand hot water today.
Oh, what an amazing bird.
You know, my whole life's been a gift.
Yeah. Aren't they all? It's a gift. I wondered, I'm so glad you said, because I wonder what the cemetery is.
I can't remember the name of the cemetery, but it's the only one over there. Wheatfield, a little dinky town. It's over in near Winton.
And that's
part of, I think is the name of that county.
Boone County.
Jasper, I think it is, Jasper County.
And now we're playing ball at that lake again. Remember there was that field?
Right.
The umpire's sitting down.
The only smart one in the group. These budding young stars here.
He's got his little head. Look at his little... See, that's the nets I'm talking
Oh,
about.
yeah. Look like boat
Like
covers.
the big camera. Mm-hmm.
Well, see, I think these look so much better on movie cameras. I guess if you had a snapshot of this.
You couldn't see. Oh, absolutely. That's great.
I see them acting silly and mugging for the camera. This must be one of our camping trips.
It is.
God, I hated that.
Oh, me too.
See, I don't think
See, there she's got one on, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but mother went on her. Oh, get that cigarette out.
Now, see, we're back to twisting again. Just kidding.
You're really with her there. You got the move.
That was so much fun.
Gotta bring about that picture there, whatever happened to that.
I don't know.
You definitely got it. You have got it. That's why we didn't find you on TV.
This little stool there to put your shoes on looks like in that basket.
Must have been some reason for it. Well, you got a lot of footage here.
I know, I don't know what that was. Oh, I was spoiled. So.
That's not very embedded anyway.
And then I watched Ted. He's going to go down. Al had such short hair.
Well, we always gave them those crew cuts. They didn't have any choice about it. As soon as they got old enough, that's when they let it grow down their shoulders. Like, probably our fault for not letting them grow up their shoulders. Who was that?
Eric.
Eric, oh yeah.
Now this, I think, is Joyland. Wasn't there a little...
There was a Joyland, yeah.
Because...
We made many trips out there. It might be the
Now,
fair,
where
too.
was that?
The fairgrounds are...
See, I just remember something about a train at Joyland. And I always thought it was named after Aunt Joy.
This was up on North 45.
I see all the corners.
Yeah, they moved it from the fairgrounds out there. I see what that is in the background out there, but there's the highway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's Route 45 there, and I think they moved that out there and some other, some rides because of the, they had a problem at the fairgrounds.
Look how huge that Ferris wheel is. Like, they're so tiny now, and look how fast it's going. Now the seats are closer together, and you go really slow.
I hate those things. God, I hate those things.
Well, anymore they're pretty rickety. How cute Craig is.
He was a great little kid.
Mm-hmm. There's some more of him up close. And then I thought these were, they're just driving them. They wouldn't let you drive us now. I'd love to have one of those little tractors.
Think of all the times we encountered those guys around to do all this kind of stuff.
I know, you just did tons of
I
stuff.
don't think we've ever had that. I'm pretty sure this is what this was called, Joyland.
Good one. See, it's not on a track and not anybody's, you got to steer it and everything. It's got a collared shirt on. You know, now it's all t-shirts.
Those were fun. I used to like those when we were kids.
And then Christmas. Look how close we all are.
Well, a pretty small room, if you remember.
We're all crammed in there. There's silver tree.
Oh,
See,
that's right. I forgot about that.
There's another pipe. Everybody dressed up.
Yeah, everybody dressed, didn't they? I always liked that hairdo when she wore her hair like that. I thought pretty becoming for her.
See, Rocky's got a tie on. I mean, for Christmas. Christmas Eve. Tank.
You probably have a hard time getting on and down, wouldn't you?
Yep.
Or anyone else, for that matter, hardly anybody likes wearing
Look
it.
how close Mark is. Like, what about me? He got a mousetrap. There are all the pieces in it. He's so cute. Craig with his red sweater.
He's kind of impatient, what do you think?
I think so too. But see, it's silver. He's got his little shorts on. See, he's so cute.
Always smiling.
Grandma forgot to take her apron off. There you are.
I know that seemed like forever ago, didn't it?
Except then the ties were again.
Those are giant candy specials.
Not sure what you got. There's Ted. He's got something. Let's take all the pieces out. Jewelry.
A little bit out of focus there.
Oh, it's the big teeth. I say. Yeah, I like her hair that way too. Eric.
We're talking to think of her and Craig both being gone.
I know. Oh, Dad. I know.
And so many others, all the family members that are long gone already.
So chewy of some kind.
That's probably like Craig's.
Look at a little tinker toy.
Yeah, that's probably Craig. Probably looked like something he'd do.
Now, who's this? This looks like a Ruth Ann type of, or Aunt Edney type of family person. I didn't know who that was.
I don't need help with that.
Maybe I recognize. I don't know who it was.
Who is that? Oh, that's, he lives across the street from us.
Shaw's?
Shaw's, yeah. Yeah, that's Carl. That's his wife. No, that's his mom.
Is it Valerie Shaw? Is that her?
Valerie, yeah, that's it. There's Valerie.
So it's
And that was her child, or I think it was, she was in that. And then that girl was their daughter, but I can't remember what her name is.
So they're kids, okay.
And there's, you know,
That's a little Swiss outfit. Okay, I didn't know who that was.
yeah,
Okay, we gotta get.
that's their son. David is my brother, youngest brother.
He's got your tile.
Pardon him.
So this is your house on Hollycrest?
I'm trying to figure out where that is.
Look at all this snow.
I think that's in Danville. I think that was one of our houses in Danville.
There's
Yeah,
tons
there's
and
that
tons of snow.
station. That's our station wagon right there. Yeah, that was our station. Not station wagon, but our hardtop. I'm pretty sure that's Danville. We had a huge storm over there after we moved over there.
Wow, I'd say.
I believe now we didn't have any snow that way.
No,
A couple of dustings.
nothing. Yeah, there's a ton. That's great big cars.
That's bad. See, that's bad camera when you move that fast. That's not good.
Well, maybe it's not you. Maybe it's somebody else.
Well,
Running it.
that's good. I wish I'd have thought of that.
Yeah, I didn't recognize any of these streets, so that's probably why, 'cause it's over east of here.
Now that's Art Fleming. He's the guy I work with over there. Yeah, that's Art Fleming.
Oh. I didn't know. I know back to Indianapolis.
Yeah. Art Fleming, he's dead now too.
I remember that Fleming Homes or something.
Right. Fleming Willer
That was the other one.
and Community Homes. We had two different companies over there. We had Community Homes and Danville Community Homes and then Fleming Willer.
See how the cars are a little different now.
Oh yeah, much. That's why I said I'm pretty sure this is 63, 64.
I guess I didn't know they had a band on the field.
Yeah, well, this would be the day of the race, because they don't have the band at time trial. And they play Indiana, and of course the national anthem.
Well, from Danville, it probably wasn't that big a deal just to zoom over to Indiana.
With that little cloud.
That's funny. Looks like you got good seats.
Yeah, we were right on the straightaway, right close to the pagoda, which is the kind of the main building there, the track. Of course, gasoline alley's right behind it. That's pagoda right there.
Oh, wow, he's right out there. Yeah, I see him all come out. That's amazing.
Oh, wow, you good looking car.
Wasn't it?
I was looking to see about Parnella Jones had my favorite race car, but that kind of looks, these had an exhaust pipe that came up kind of up on an angle and bent like that, came back, and I just thought that was a neatest looking race car. Still my favorite one of all of them, really. I don't know why, I just like the looks of it.
Mm-hmm. That guy's right out there on the track.
That's Jimmy Clark. That was the first when they first started using those rear engine cars. All the rest of them were roadsters with engines in front.
Oh, okay.
This was kind of that transition period when they were switching over. And Clark was from England. And they called them go-karts because they looked so small while they were fast. That's right there. See the engine in the back there with the exhaust sticking up?
I did see that.
That was Clark. He was the only one there. Now, see, those are the roadsters, the old standbys.
Wow. I mean, you just got so many good shots of the cars instead of just being zipping by.
That's it right there.
Yeah, you're right.
It didn't even sound like the rescue. Now this would be Mark's first birthday.
Look at his little box chair that
Yeah.
he in.
And then we brought it, this was on Crystal Lake Drive, which is right, we brought a cake out, put it in front of him to see what he'd do with it. Of course, Ted was there to help, as you can see.
Good brother.
And that's right here where McDonald's on North Cunningham is.
Oh, okay.
McDonald's will be over there. In fact, the house that we lived in is no longer there. They moved it out of there. And it's just a driveway that goes back into that University Credit Union building.
Okay.
That driveway sits right where we live. This will be Mark's first birthday. Now that little table got a lot of work out because you could...
Yeah, Craig's in it too.
Yeah. And the ever-present swing set.
Yep, had to have a swing set.
Yeah, he's a busy guy too, I think.
I'm going to show you some tricks.
Turn your thumbs, man. Think of that, yeah, see. I remember doing that.
Oh, look at the size of that candle.
You watch that hand keep coming in from the side of us because she's so afraid he's going to hurt himself.
That's a big cake. Yeah, I never better take that out.
Mother get a little help out with the frosting. But we are also skinny there.
Oh, I know. That's what Rocky was saying. He said, well, skinny we are. Our ribs are showing and...
Healthy. Not healthy than
We're
we are
active.
today. Yeah.
I mean, we're always outside.
Let's see,
yeah.
she took a shirt off. Steve wanted to get that all over.
Well, thankfully, everything was in August, right? All your boys were August birthdays.
Well, Mark was in July.
But summer, so you could wash them out outside.
Oh, yeah.
You just close them down.
Right.
Oh, Tim.
Tim's needs some help.
He's getting it off his face. Oh, he's so cute.
I don't think I like this. It's all right, but...
He's good. Oh, it's so cute.
Well, this would be Craig doing the same thing. Yeah, I'm sure that's...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they play in this pool on your patio. And it was like, that's all we had, and it was a blast. I think a lot of them are neighbor kids, because I didn't recognize some of them.
Well, the kids used to run on it and kind of belly flop on it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to splash. This would be on Hollycrest. Those Shaws that were in there before, they live in that house
Okay.
on Hollycrest. We sold them that when we went to Danville, but they still live in it.
Oh, somebody's not happy.
You know, something didn't go well. No, I don't want it. No, I don't want it.
It's probably just about 20 more minutes of this. Do you want us to take a break, or? He's really unhappy. He's always punched.
Tears are falling.
Yeah, don't show me.
My hair's on curls, don't do that.
Nice. He must have got him a new fishing pole or something, because he's trying it out. And then there's the tiger lilies now.
Too bad somebody didn't latch onto that sign and keep it.
I know.
I got the French flower shop sign over in the garage.
Do you?
Yeah.
Now, when did you sell that, or get rid of it? When did you stop?
In 2009.
Not that long ago.
I was working right up to then, and
This is funny.
we had a fire,
Oh.
and in the back, there was a house with a breezeway and a building in the back. And the building in the back burned, and most of the breezeway burned.
Oh, dear.
And, I just kind of, and that was a week before Mother's Day. Yeah. And we got through that, and then all the process of selling it, trying to clean up the mess and get
Your inventory.
everything back to where we were still operating the flower shop. I was outside walking around and looking at, because we were doing a lot of work outside, regrading and all that you have to go through. And I stepped on something that flipped up and went up in my pant leg and gouged a chunk out of my ankle.
Oh.
And about, maybe 3 weeks later, it wasn't healing. It just wasn't getting any better. So I went to the doctor, and, you know how they listen, you do your pulse and all that before you see the doctor. And this nurse, she kept me, and she said, how do you feel? I said, what do you mean? I'm
Not so good right now.
I'm ready to go to work. I said, I got to open up. I said, she said, well, your pulse is going so fast I can't count it. And 2 hours later, I was in the hospital.
For what?
My heart got out of rhythm.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
I don't know. It just happens.
So then you got it back to where it should
Yeah,
be.
you have to get that shock treatment. You got it back and got right back. Now I take medication to control it. So that was in July.
Wow.
That happened. I was in the hospital for 4 days.
Oh, I had no idea.
And so when I got out, well, I said, I think it's time for us to quit. I think we've got a warning shot here. I was 80 years old, and I think I probably worked long enough. And so we closed up on the end of July, and rented the place out as a house, and somebody moved into it in October. And
Are these mostly neighbor kids? These kids that are, they just kind of look like, now here's his birthday.
Try that one.
That old high chair. So this is kind of like the cleanup we saw before.
Now, I suppose those got all sequenced in some way.
Well, like you say, you changed wheels and stuff. So. His hair's all done.
Oh, well, he was always, Joanne always kept him clean, slicked up. I kind of like this.
I remember he was such a big eater at such a small age.
Yeah, he was.
Like 2
He
and
was
3.
a big kid, too, for his age.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctors always said, well, he'll be bigger than you are when he gets fully mature. Well, he never did.
Now he's really getting into it. Oh.
I don't like the feel of that.
There's a real good one here if you're on the patio with Mark and Craig. You're trying to get Craig to come over. He's being standoffish, but it's really sweet.
And that's Holy Crest.
He gets a little weed here and sticks it in the electrical outlet. It's really neat. You can tell,
he's always doing
you can tell you say something to him because he's like, None of that's like that now. Look at that. It's all cornfield.
Full houses now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is what I need. There we go. See? Now watch this.
You know, he knew immediately what to do with it. A stinker.
What?
What do you mean?
You can tell you're talking to
I'm
him.
not doing anything.
All right.
What's he doing? He pinches his fingers on this thing.
Really, ow. I'm not going to say anything though. See, he's being tough. Your old grill.
God, that grill lasted about 25 years too.
Now that's the neighbor again.
Yeah, I can't remember what her name is.
Must have been a church or something. Mark's all dressed up.
Well, you know, they used to dress up for everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to tell. You know, Joanne insisted on keeping them clean, which with boys, that's a full-time job.
You must have been telling him to act silly.
Yeah, it looks like the,
I know. She's so pretty. Oh, and here you are. Your tie's bigger now, see? Give me that camera.
well, you don't really know.
This is the one. See, you're sitting there. I thought that was so sweet. Come here. I just thought that was sweet. I'm busy. He's like, he's so busy. I don't have time. There's another swing set, and there's...
No, we always had one of those. We wore out probably half a dozen of them.
Mm-hmm.
Was Eric about the same age as Craig?
He's born in 56, so more Mark's age.
Well, Mark was born in 56 too. Craig was born in 59.
He was just bigger,
Yeah.
but Eric was kind of little. I thought there's the rings and a little bar,
Mm-hmm.
bean field, and all that stuff.
You see the neighbors over there, they got one too.
Mm-hmm. It's going pretty high. I know, it's just like, let's get as close as we can.
The sun hurts my eyes.
And his little ears. He's so cute. And his hair's longer now.
I guess he was just about 4 there. He was just think 4 years old. It's 5.
Yeah, 5 or 6 maybe. You can see the color in these more.
Yeah.
Before braces, obviously.
Better shots. Maybe the light might have been better too.
Maybe.
The sun was good.
You've got everybody really close. It's like,
Yeah, it should have been higher. I should have framed it better.
he's got something around his neck. I don't know what. Maybe a skate key or something. I don't know, having races. Now, who's that?
That's,
I didn't know who these people Is that Jerry?
No, that's her aunt Penny. Joanne's uncle and aunt they're from down around Southern Illinois. He was a milk inspector or something.
Oh.
So he called him Harry. I can't.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
I've heard that name.
Maybe his name was Harold. That's Teresa's brother.
Okay.
And that was his wife there.
Okay.
I can't remember their name.
You see this field?
I never thought he'd like me too much.
Sometimes it's hard to say. I think that's Ted.
Yeah.
And there's Mike. I don't know. They all kind of look alike.
It's Rocky, isn't it?
I thought that was good. Look at Thelma and Louise there. I just like that one. I thought that was good.
Those are at the Little League games, I'm pretty sure.
And that looks like Dad.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And now we got those old metal glasses. Remember those?
Well, they always took those thermos things to the games.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the kids spent more time there than watching the game. Yeah, you're right.
He's got some gum. Then, did you go to the Rose Bowl parade?
No, this is 4th of July parade.
Oh, okay. That was pretty elaborate.
But they used to be really nice.
They're just a bunch of cars now.
Yeah,
Cars and vans.
this was Green Street.
Wow.
Well,
That's pretty nice.
I recognize some of those
Now
houses.
this is on Knopf Street, so I remember that backyard.
Yeah. They're still doing the same dance.
I know. Or they're playing with fireworks or something. 'Cause
No, or, I think you'll have some bad word there.
There's Ted. All that wood. That's Mark. He could always sit like that. I just said, you're on TV. What? I couldn't remember Dan ever wearing shorts.
I never have. I hate shorts.
He never wore them that I knew. So this was evidence.
My brother was living in shorts, and I hate it. I never have. Well, I'll get you a tail today.
You're like, hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Better have some fun.
You're still...
I'm still trying to fix something. I'm not sure what. Great outfit. I'll get it. Ted's got it. Okay, I got it. Here, I'll show you how. See how good he was? He was like, here. And then Rocky was so glad you filmed this. Because it was some kind of all-star game.
Well,
And you have him coming into home, and he remembered the game. He said, I didn't know there was any film of this. But he remembered you filming it, but he didn't know there was a copy around, so he was really excited.
whatever we do, I better not take the camera on.
He was just so glad. He gets it. He gets a lot of fouls, apparently, because he's up to bat all the time. There he goes. And you got it. He was like... And this dog, I didn't remember having this dog either. It's a little...
Oh, I don't remember that one either.
And then there's another little... And this might... No, this isn't the same one. There's one at the end that's just hilarious.
I don't remember that dog at all. I don't know if that was, maybe that wasn't our dog. That must have been something special I made.
Maybe Easter. He's such a cute kid. Yeah, so it must be yours because Aunt Joy would have picked up a dog that didn't belong to you. I just can't imagine.
I just don't remember that one.
This is a dead end.
You better not get up the hat on, kid.
It looks, this dog, I don't know if that's still that Sophie dog. bigger, but she gets
No,
she gets a hat, and it's hilarious.
I think that was another one we had in Danville. It's not the same. That was a bigger dog.
Yeah, it looks bigger, but I didn't know if that was because it was a pet.
No, I think that's
You
it.
film it.
Yeah. Well, they couldn't catch it.
It's hilarious.
He was too fast. He just changed direction.
I mean, no. And
They can't. I catch it. He was having a lot of fun with him.
he did. Like Ted's like, I'm not going to get
He wore him out, really.
you. Yeah, he starts getting. He starts getting.
Like a white.
There he is behind you. There's stuff. He's like, okay.
Yeah,
It was hilarious. It was funny to me that not any of them could catch that little
No,
dog.
see, he's having a good time with it. Come and get it.
Yeah, this is towards the end. Mark's smoking a pipe at the very end. But these of Craig, his eyes are just sparkling. So cute. His smile just brighten up everything.
Yeah, and he always smiled. He was just a happy kid.
Mm-hmm. Now he knows he's on the camera, so he's like, he makes little faces and everything. So cute. So I wasn't sure where you'd be living here. Was this still
That's a dead.
Danville?
Yeah.
I just like that. He does that. He's a goof in the mouth. Oh, that was nice.
But you do that.
Here's the one where his eyes just shine. This cheeks are really, he just looks
It looks like he
beautiful.
just got up from a nap.
He just looks so pretty.
That's the Homer again.
Mm-hmm.
Or still, whatever. Kids all love to fish with Grandpa.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was usually kind of not very friendly. He had to get mad at the TV and scare everybody. I'm like, oh my gosh. Do you want some water or more coffee or anything? I just liked how Ted was always helping, like.
Yeah, he was.
you
Ted's,
know.
Ted's just a good guy.
So like, he's like, you got it. And then he helps him get it to where it shows for the camera. See? There, he got it. A fine specimen.
Well, it is at that age, it doesn't matter what size it is. As long as you got one.
And very. Now have your ball caps on. Oh, this is funny. Wait, what's this? Look at this.
There's some threatening things being said.
But just to see Mom and my aunt playing badminton, that was so cute.
We played a lot of badminton, too.
Harry grabbed somebody else's fish or he got one. And back at the fire.
Look at his pants there.
And I think that might be it. Yep, I think that's it.
Well, that fills in some gaps
That
for you.
is great.